Please meet Stiggy. It's one of my best friends, and it's one of the best concepts I learned from Bob Proctor. And today I'll dive into what is sticky about, and actually, it's very easy to understand. But once you understand it, it will take a lifetime to apply it. But it helped me so much to understand what's my mind about, why do I think or why do I do the things that I do, and how can I redirect it. And maybe you're also on a search or on a quest for how can I understand myself better? How can I do better? Maybe you even have big dreams or you want to have big dreams, but you don't dare to dream big. So today with Sticky, I'll explain you why Bob Proctor, he borrowed also this from this ID, this model. It's not his ID originally. But anyways, that's not so important who invented it or who started with that stick model. It's the most important thing. It's working. It's working once you understand it well. And I'm using today one of the lessons of the 6 Minute to Success program of Bob Proctor. So all credits again, all copyrights again to Bob Proctor. I'm just showing you what my one of my programs I bought from Bob Proctor I've been using and how you can apply it. And if you are interested in learning more about in 6 minutes, well, in the resources of my page, yeah, you can find my affiliate link towards that. But it's not obligation. I'll explain you everything here so you can understand it better and apply it into your life. And I'm sure that if you want to, you get it, you can start to apply it. Yes, that is it. Apply it. And because only applied knowledge gives power. Someone said, some wise man. Because all knowledge, most people have a lot of knowledge, but they don't apply it, so they get really frustrated. So Control 5, I think, or Control 6. Oh, I forgot it. Control 6. It is Control 6 that I had to push. And here we are in the beginning, and it is really what Bob Proctor in his audio versions is telling. So it is like in a conversational way that the thing is built. But I explain you a little bit more with my sticky. I have to bring it right in front of the camera there. How you can understand it even better. So, hello. There I am. Well, welcome to 6 Minutes of Success. The particular lesson or maybe a little bit longer than most of them, but I am going to share with you what I consider the most valuable idea that I have ever learned. So also Bob Proctor considered it as the most valuable idea that he ever learned. Do you know, for many years I was studying and I was trying to figure out how things happen. And I think most of us have that question. Maybe, I don't know how old you are. I don't know where you are in your life, but I feel, and I feel inside me something, I want to do better. Even if I have accomplished some things in my life, I want to do better. And lately, I saw an interview with Anthony Robbins and Alex Hermosi, which is a very successful entrepreneur, really successful entrepreneur in the fitness industry, and is all over social media. And the two had a conversation, and what I was taking from that conversation is that Alex, with all his money, all these achievements, he was on a point in his life that he was asking Anthony Robbins, like, and now, where is the fulfillment? How can I go further in my life? I'm 39, 30, something like that. A lot of money. He has an idea, creates an idea for himself, no pain, no gain, but there's no fulfillment. You saw that he was like questioning it, like, what is the next thing? So in your life, whatever you have accomplished, you will have to always that search for who am I? How can I understand myself better? And if you understand yourself better, and if you understand a little bit better how you can take control of your mind, the more that you will feel fulfilled. What I discovered already is that life is like a balance. There's like highs and lows, but the more that you have highs, the more that you can have lows. The goal of life, I think, of the sweet spot in life is there in the middle. It's where that you're in balance, that you're not too high, that you're not too low, and there you feel lucky, there you feel in the zone. Because if you hype, the hype will go over and you will feel the down. It's like with drugs, I think. But being capable with your mind to keep yourself in the middle, in the sweet spot, that's power. There is fulfillment. There is love. There is everything what you are seeking is there in that middle sweet spot. So Bob did also was in the search for better and how things are working for him also, because he was not always that successful as he was at the end of his life. Um, the thing was, what he explained is, okay, if you talk about who are you, well, most people will give their name. I am Nick. But that's my name. That's something I got. Even it's not my real name. I have my real name on my ID card is another name. My father gave me the name Nick after I was born, and everything was registered. So this is not my real name. So it's something I got from my father, and I adopted it, and I keep on using it, and I like myself as Nick. But it's just my name. And it's also I'm not my body, because imagine that if I was my body, and I God bless, I have an accident and I have to amputate one arm. Well, then am I then a little bit less Nick, a little bit less daddy, a little bit less husband because I'm missing one arm? I don't think so. So you're not your body. Your body is just an expression, it's a vehicle, something that you use. So what are we then? We have an intellect, we can think. That's also right, we can think. But imagine that we have Einstein's brain, we put it in a jar. Do we have now the intellect of Einstein? No, there is no energy in that jar. So the brain is useless. So we also have a mind, something which is more spiritual, energy, something like that, which is flowing through and through our body. Then that's the secret. That's the thing that we don't understand very well. How does all those things come together? Let's dive into it. Bob had also those questions. I was always confusing to me. I would have a piece here and another piece over there, but I could never get it together. In other words, no order in my mind. He was trying to figure it out. Then I found out that we think in pictures. He learned that. We think in pictures. When I would ask you, think of your first car. Immediately pop, if you have ever had the car, of course. Immediately, I know I had my first car was a little Mini Cooper. Yeah, big guy, but a little Mini Cooper. I thought that was cute and funny, but not at all. It was a bad buy. But if I would ask, think of your first pet, dog, cat, whatever, immediately there is a picture that pops up in your mind. Think of your first house. Immediately, your first bike. Immediately, you can describe it in detail how it was because you have a picture. We think in pictures. Think of your front door. A moment. Boom. Boom. A picture of your front door comes across your mind. Think of your stove in the kitchen. Bang. Snap. Like that, you have a picture of a stove. Think of your automobile, you get another picture. You see, when I say these words, I am activating cells in your brain. I'm setting up a vibration that can be positive or negative. The vibration is really a light message. Your hearing sense pick it up and it goes firing down a nerve passageway and then strikes a group of cells in your brain, and the image that are in those cells flash on the screen of your mind. Think of your kitchen. Now the picture of your kitchen comes onto your mind. Go inside your first car and do what happens. Flap, there you are. You are in your car. You can see it. Now, if we would like to drink coffee together in Paris under the Eiffel Tower, snap, we are there. I can imagine the Eiffel Tower. I can imagine there a terrace. I can imagine myself sitting there. And I can imagine that you are walking up there and take a seat next to me and we're having a coffee together. We can imagine that. Even if it doesn't actually happen, in our mind it can happen. Now, think of your mind. What happens? No picture. And you see that that's one of the biggest problems if you want to work with something, but you don't have a picture of it. We don't have a picture of our mind. We have no image of the mind. And when we talk about changing the mind and working with the mind, we don't have an image. We need an image because otherwise it's very difficult for us to have a conversation or communicate about it. So we get confused. We either turn our television on or we think about something else. Well, I'm going to give you an image of the mind. Back in 1934, Dr. Truman Fleet in San Diego, Texas, realized we had the same problem. He was very involved in the healing arts, uh, and he said, we are just treating symptoms. We are not treating the cause of the problem at all. And he said, if we are going to have any health, we are going to have the holistic health. In other words, treat all three parts of our personality. And he said, since no one has ever seen the mind, I'm going to make a picture of the mind. And that's the picture that Bob started to use afterwards. Now, I want you to look here, and I call this a magical graphic. As you see, you will have a picture of the mind and the body. Now, at first, when you look at it, it's rather cute in a couple of circles, but that's going to turn from cute into something that you absolutely marvelous for you. This changed everything in my life. Here he comes, our little sticky. So you see that at the right hand, you have two circles. One circle for the head, the mind, and under that you have the body. I want you to ask to let your head represent your mind. It is not like that. It's just a representation. Now, of course, that's not the way it is. The mind is in the fingernail. A lot of people, when they think of the mind, they think of the brain. But the brain is just an electronic switching station. That is really what it is. As you activate brain cells, you set up a vibration in various parts of your body. Do you know that your brain will not think, but you think with your brain? To explain that better, I have often mentioned that it is reported anyway, that we have Albert Einstein's brain in a jar, what I was talking about. But it is not doing anybody any good because Albert is not in it. So do you see, your brain is a part of your mind, but so is your kneecap or your toe or your shoulder. The body is a physical manifestation of the mind. So the way that you think is the way that your body will express itself. Anthony Robbins is very strong in that. And you know that if you just put your shoulders a little bit more backwards, if your breathing gets a little bit more deep and you lift your head and then you put a little bit of smile on your face, and when you're in that position, try to be depressed. It's not possible. Your body can't be depressed if you smile and you look up and you look over the horizon. It's quite impossible to be depressed. So our body is an expression of our mind, but we can influence our mind with the expression of our body, with the posture of our body. That's already very interesting. Did you know that the Queen of England, lately Queen of England, that she, in her older age, she kept on riding horses. And the reason that she kept on riding horses is that when I ride a horse, I'm a little bit higher and I can overlook, but she was very small, I can overlook the horizon much better. And that gives me a good feeling. So if you are able to go for a walk, and I'm preferably in a walk like a beach walk or a walk where you can see the fields, or so that you have a more than 100 meters far away from you that you can see, it will clear your mind. You will feel better. So if you are in a mood at this moment that you feel, oh, nothing is working, no, go for a walk. Look further. Get yourself a little bit straight up and your mind will clear. So take a look at this now. You will see that the mind is divided in two parts. We have it here. Oh, there. Mind is divided in two parts. Well, you have a horizontal line from the right across the center of my head, and you see the top of half of the mind as being conscious mind, and everything on the bottom half of as being the subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind and subconscious mind operate totally different. The conscious mind can accept or reject anything that comes along to it. You are hearing me right now. You can reject what I'm saying, or you can say, no, this sounds good, I will accept it. So we have here our stick person, and something comes in via those 5 antennas. Something comes in, and here in the conscious mind, in our rational mind, we can accept it or reject it. Now, that demands active thinking. If you are hypnotized watching the news every day and you don't take guard of your mind, just your conscious mind, it will, bit by bit, it will go down into your subconscious mind. You see, the conscious mind is our thinking mind, and we can think anything we want. If I ask you, think of a pink elephant, you can decide to think of a pink elephant, even it goes very fast. Archibald MacLeish, a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, had a character stand up in his play, In Secret of Freedom. And the character says, the only thing about a man that is a man is his mind. Everything else you will find in a pig or a horse. And he was right. Do you see, we can think, and you can think anything you want. That is where freedom really comes. And this is a small sentence that changed my life. When I realized that I'm able and I have the power to think anything what I want, and that creates freedom. I can choose to think in any moment. I don't say it's always easy because I'm programmed from the past. But I have the option, and if I remind myself in the most difficult moments, I have the option to think different than I'm thinking now. That creates freedom. So for me, it was really an eye-opener when I really became aware of it. It is always a difference between knowing something and be really aware of it. If you are aware of it, you start to apply it. You connecting the dots. You say, well, did make sense. I can use this. I'll apply it. And the more that you're aware of it, the more that you're consciously aware of it, the more that you will apply it, the more that it becomes a habit. So if I compare myself now and 5 years ago, I'm much more positive. I feel also when something negative comes in my life, I can change it. I have like a saying for myself, bene mete. That's a Latin for harvest the good. Search for the good. There's always good in something. Because we have that law of polarity, but I'll speak about that another time. You can think anything you want. You can accept or reject what you hear. If you think this is bull, you can now click or swipe this video and watch something else. Or you can say, maybe there is some value in what Nick is telling. I'll keep on going. I want to hear more. I would recommend that you reject all the information that you hear with respect to the economy. Yeah, especially in this time, good reason not to believe everything what you hear. This is good. We are getting rid of the old and making room for the new, but that is another subject. Think whatever you want to think. There is an absolute freedom. And if there is anything that you take away from this video, is maybe that sentence. Think whatever you want to think. There is absolute freedom. You are free if you accept that you can think what you want to think. There is power into your conscious and you can think. Now, your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. And whatever you turn over to the emotional mind dictates how you are going to feel. Now, the emotional mind is also like the hard disk of your PC. It's like the storage mind. It's like everything what is stored in our subconscious mind will dictate our automated behavior. So our subconscious mind, you could compare it to the software of your computer. Well, once the software is installed, you accept it to install it. Click, I agree, install. Software is installed. Now the computer, whenever something, when you run the software, will always run following the programming of that software. The computer won't start thinking of his own, say, well, maybe today I'll do it differently. No, it's programmed to do it in the way that you present it now, the problems or the indications. So subconscious mind, I can accept, reject. I can think, I can create images. If I'm getting emotional about it, or if I accept it, or if it's repeated, or then it will be programmed in my subconscious mind, and there it becomes the software of my habitual behavior. Your thinking mind, emotional mind. So you can think in pictures and you can choose thoughts in your conscious mind, and then you impress those upon your subconscious mind. And that's where often it's not told, like, how do you impress that on your subconscious mind? Well, it's impressed by your subconscious mind by by emotional by an emotional how do you say it? By an emotional impression. So if you have, like, there is something happening, you have a car accident, and that caused so much emotional stress that afterwards you are afraid to get in the car. Or it is by repetition. That's also possible. So that both, or it's by something emotional that happens to you, and it passes through every reasonable thinking, and it's directly programmed in your subconscious mind, and now you have like a behavior or a belief that something always will happen like that. Or you accept it by neglect. You just let it drip in. What I said about the news, you all hear news, repetition. Yeah, things that your family say to you, things that your friends say. So your environment. That's why they say, well, you become the average of your 5 best friends, or the friends you hang out with a lot, because the conversation is always the same there. So then you start to think the same, and now you start to act the same. So that's vibration. Now, vibration on a conscious level is called a feeling. So if someone asks you, how do you feel? Well, in fact, they ask, how do you vibrate? And actually what they ask, what are your dominant thoughts at the moment? That's when someone asks you, how do you feel? Well, I feel angry. Well, how does it come that you feel angry? Well, that means that your body is vibrating angriness, but that also that you allowed yourself to have angry thoughts. And whatever is impressed, as you see there, is expressed to the body. So your feelings are expressed in actions. So if someone has angry thoughts, they will influence the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind gets get that angry vibration. That angry vibration is a feeling will be transmitted to the body. The body feels angry, vibrates on an angry level, and now it will act on an angry level. What you will put out will come back, and that's a law of attraction. So if I have that angry state all the time, well, that's maybe the reason that some persons always will meet another angry person, because they vibrating that angriness, the angry thoughts, the thoughts of um, misunderstanding, whatever. But otherwise, if you have positive thoughts and you have a positive feeling, so you're vibrating positively, you will emit that, your body will emit that, and you will attract the same. The best proof is that when you are around animals like dogs or horses, they're very sensitive to that. A dog knows from miles if you are coming with good intention or bad intention. You can't fake that. If you are fearful towards a dog, he will know that you are fearful. If you're angry towards dogs, he will. If you're doubtful, he will. But if you're loving towards dogs, they will be so lovable towards you. So they feel that from a very they're from miles, they're from a big distance. Now, what is 6 minutes all about? It is about changing results. Most people do not understand the mind, so they don't think about that. They just think about results. Well, if you keep watching and using 6 minutes as we suggest, you're going to find out results will change, but it's because you are starting to understand how the mind works. The cause of all results resides within. Bob always said, as within, so without, from the inside to the outside. If you change the inside, the outside will be the reflection of it. So now if today you understood that you can choose to think differently. And if you choose to think differently, you will feel differently, and then you will act differently. What Bob says, I'm going to recommend that you spend 5 or 10 minutes maybe watching this clip, watch it over and over again, start that, so there's Bob again, repetition, start to see yourself as mind and body. If you're working with, if I were working with you, I would automatically have an imagery line straight across the center of your head, and I know your conscious mind works, and I know how your subconscious mind works, and I know your body is an instrument of the mind. So when I find out what you want, I can show you how to get it, what you want, by showing how to change how to change what is going on the inside. This is called the stick presentation. Study it, fall in love with it. I'm going to tell you, I could take your corporations, senior executive officers all over the world, and they will say this is the most valuable idea they ever learned. It helped me a lot. It has helped me to earn millions, and it can help you to make your dreams all help you too. That's Bob Proctor. Now, what are those little antennas here? I will dive into that in the next video, but I can tell all the information that comes in and into our mind comes through our 5 senses, and that is hearing, tasting, our nose, and then we can see and we can touch. Can smell. So our 5 senses are the direct antenna, or the information input, information receivers from the physical world. But they are not a reality, because every energy that comes in via those 5 antennas, we can decide what we do with it. So we can determine if it's positive, negative, if we accept it, reject it. That's here, that's in the conscious mind. In that conscious mind, we are the master. Once it passed through that level here, and it's in the subconscious mind, now we have to reprogram what's here with our conscious mind again. So if you have habitual behavior that you don't like, it is because there are paradigms, programmed ideas and beliefs that you accepted in the past. But don't worry, you can change them. And I'll teach you in next videos how to change those. I hope you found some value in this video. And if you found some value in this video, well, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments, or if you have any ideas for how to use it, put it in the comments. Let's start a conversation. It's in a conversation that value is created. See you in the next video. Bye.